This is a video for the Panther covering the scoring of lines. So, first thing you might want to do is test the firmness that you're going to want to use with the knife just on a empty piece of the template. Just do a few scores and then fold the piece and see how it turns out, and just try different firmnesses. But I'm going to skip that. So you're just scoring the dotted lines, not the solid ones. So there's only, if you're doing the option B, there'll be some on the gun shield. Other than that, it's just the turret and the hull. So just go slow and generally use less pressure and just try to be really straight and accurate. I don't recommend using a ruler. It's never worked for me. So I would avoid that. If if you can get it to work, go ahead, but test it on a piece of empty template before trying that, because it's not easy. So like I said, just go nice and slow. Nice even pressure on all of the cuts, and you should be alright. Okay, so that's everything for here. So now, I'm going to take a ruler. I'm just going to make these folds. I'm going to use my finger here. Just sort of soften these up. Now these are cutting pretty nicely. I didn't cut hard, and generally you get it nicer edges if you don't push the knife in very deep. You can use a ruler to do this as well as a finger. But I definitely recommend with these long ones to crack it over the ruler, like so. Or else you might end up with a not very straight looking fold there. So as I fold it, I'm kind of pushing the two pieces back together so they don't tear away from each other too much. Just a little bit. It does help. And this one is quite folded. So you might want to get this one really deep, so it's like that on that angle. This is probably one of the most problem areas, this rear area here for open wound effect, but not so bad on this. Okay, another thing you might want to do now, although you're going to be doing it later anyways, is just flatten out anything that's not flat. These ones, because the long piece, will flatten this top part. If it isn't flat, it will become flat after this. And most of these small ones aren't usually much of a problem. But this long piece here, generally you're going to have to move it a little bit around. Okay, so onto the turret. Oh, with the gun shield, if you're doing the option B, you actually need to score it on the reverse side. So, let's see. Myself a pencil of some sort here. I'm just going to mark on the back. About how much. Okay, now this will be approximate because it's folded the wrong way, and yet the detailing is on the front, so each one's a little bit different. But just like that. See, just folding it the other way. And onto the turret. Again, just really slow, gentle, even pressure. Now there is a dotted red line right beside this blue one. It's a little bit hard to see. It might look purple. But generally there's enough separation you can still see that there's a red line to cut there. And again, don't cut these solids, just the dotted ones. Now these cuts are small enough you shouldn't even need to use the ruler to fold these over. Sometimes just doing it with your fingers is a little bit easier, and you have a little bit more control over what's going on. But with the very long ones, like on the turret or the hull sides here, you really need to use the ruler. Well, it helps anyways. I'm sure you can figure it out without it, but it does help a lot. So exactly the same thing with the turret as with the hull. Just fold these over, soften the edges, and try to fold them enough so they can kind of sit sort of. I mean, you don't necessarily always know where it needs to be, but you can kind of tell what things are going to look like a bit. And so if you can get the folds to sort of sit in place, you'll be better off later when you're trying to patch this together. So if you can kind of suss out where the more angled ones are and just push those a little bit harder than the others, you'll be good. And that is it.